Hey now besties, today we are doing a very highly requested video, and that is how I heal my allergic reactions. Let's get into it. So this is technically a follow-up video to my Bling Galleria fall manicure, and if you haven't seen that one yet, I'm going to link it right here for you. That is the mani that I have on right now. And if y'all saw my first review on Bling Galleria, these cat eyes do flare me mildly. So I was kind of prepared, and I figured this was the perfect time to make that video because I really missed that opportunity during my super terrible Melody Susie reaction. And if you haven't seen that one, I'll link that one as well. I did end up getting this ointment that was prescribed because I called in to my allergist back when I got my Melody Susie reaction, but due to insurance purposes and all that mess, it took forever and I didn't get it until like 3 weeks ago. It's been about 3 hours and so far so good. But since I pretty much know I'm going to react to this, I figured I'd kind of get ahead of it. This is Tacrolimus ointment, and I was really surprised by this because it's not a steroid. It's an immunosuppressant, so it's supposed to help with the swelling, the inflammation, the itching. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and apply this, and it's like a Vaseline consistency. Spread it amongst all of the fingers. Now it says to do this twice a day. We'll see. I'll keep you all updated. It's about 10 p.m. the next day, and you can see I'm very, very mildly reacting, especially my pinky and my thumb. The rest are pretty much okay, but I, again, expect this. I already know that these gels flare me, and the reaction is very, very, very mild to the point where it doesn't really bother me. So one thing that helps a lot while you're reacting, especially if you're like me, and you get the swollen, itchy cuticles, is cold water, not ice water. You can do that too, but I find ice is just a little too much. But this is cold water right from my fridge, and I like to just put my fingers right in there, and it really helps with the inflammation and the itching. Heat is the worst enemy when I'm reacting. Like if I go outside, the sun hits my cuticles, that's when they'll start getting really bad. They'll get really red, really swollen, and they start itching, they start hurting. So ice and cold is definitely going to be your best friend. Next up is, of course, this guy, and this is especially helpful for the itching. So for example, when I'm mildly reacting like this, I don't really itch, but during really bad reactions, the itch is unbearable. So this helps so much. It works pretty quickly and it doesn't take away the swelling or anything, but it does help a lot with the itch. All right, next up is this, and this is the Onsen Nail and Cuticle Conditioner. This stuff is truth. Like, I swear by this stuff. I used it even before I had my allergy, but this really, really helps to quickly heal a flare-up, especially if my skin is separating like the gnarly one I had previously. This stuff is amazing, and I apply it twice a day. And then I also applied this separately from this. So you don't want to apply one on top of the other because it's not going to be as effective. So I usually do this one right very early in the morning, and then I have this pen with me, and I actually made this myself. And I will list the recipe for you guys, but basically I just eyeball it, and it's just castor oil, coconut oil, and tea tree oil. And there's some other ones in here. Again, I'll make sure to list the recipe for you guys. But this stuff is amazing. Tea tree oil is very good for healing. And then I just add some little glitters for fun. I do this in a pen, and I get the pens from Amazon. I'll link that as well. And I also do the little cuticle oil bottle droppers, but I just find the pens are easier for when on the go. So with all of these, I'll kind of apply them the same way. I'll do a little dollop on top and then just massage it in. And the same with, well, the oil is a little different because I'll just take the pen and a brush and just kind of go around. And then that's what it looks like. And really, it only takes about a minute for the skin to absorb what it actually needs. And then after that, it's just kind of excess. You can wipe off or it'll dry eventually. But yeah, that's what I do. I am, of course, still applying my Tacrolimus ointment, but to be completely honest, I have not noticed a difference using this at all. Maybe the reaction is just not severe enough, but I'm still reacting the exact same way that I would in pretty much the same time frame that I would as usual without this. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the reaction needs to be more severe to see any sort of improvement, but so far pretty much the same as not using it at all. Another thing that I get asked a lot is how long do my reactions last? And honestly, that answer varies significantly depending on the level of exposure and to what. For example, I've actually figured out that HEMA is something I don't react to very badly. I've had a couple of HEMA reactions, with my latest one being from Bio Seaweed Gel because I used their cat eyes not knowing that they contained 30% HEMA, and my reaction was extremely mild. I only noticed because I had some itching the next day, only where I applied the cat eyes, and I'm like, okay, what is going on? It lasted like a day. So my reaction to HEMA is actually milder than my reaction to HPMA or apparently acrylonitrile, which is very interesting because these are supposed to be substitutes. And that just goes to show that even though HEMA is more allergenic and you can form a reaction to HEMA more rapidly, there are things that can make you react more volatile. And this is all entirely dependent on your particular immune system, what you're allergic to, etc. It's very, very strange how these allergies work. Like, I'm not allergic to ethyl methacrylate or methyl methacrylate, which are very, very strong monomers, and yet I am allergic to all this other stuff. That's why I recommend, if you can, to get a patch test, and if not, then go very, very slowly with trial and error, because it's just so different for everyone. For example, my worst reaction, which was that Melody Susie one, that one lasted a good bit of a week, and for my skin to be completely healed was probably about 2 weeks. That has been my longest and worst reaction to date. Mild ones, like the one I had now with the Bling Mani, lasted maybe 2-3 days, and that's about how long they usually last. There is a lot of controversy with if reactions improve over time or get worse, and according to my allergist, they do not get worse over time. You can become allergic to other things, but usually how you react is kind of how it's going to stay. Again, it can change, it can vary depending on immune systems. In my case, it has remained pretty much the same, especially when reacting to HEMA. It's always been the same. And the severity of the reaction is going to depend on the level of exposure that you have. I hope that makes sense. There is one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is immediately removing nails the second that you start experiencing a reaction. I get yelled at all the time in my videos because I didn't do this. Now, on my Melody Susie video, I didn't do it because I was working pretty much nonstop. I am a working mom. I have a full-time job, sometimes more than full-time, so it wasn't possible for me at the time. But the reality is, when it's a mild reaction like this, I don't remove them. And that's because, especially in this case, I saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen. It heals within like a day or two. Now, obviously, the argument for removing the nails immediately is that so it doesn't continue to leach out potentially uncured product. But the thing is, I know in my case, because I use the recommended lamp for each brand, I know that in my case, when I react, it's not that it's uncured, but really more so that initial contact. So when I am going to react to something, once I've already had contact with it, I'm going to react no matter what. Like, whether I remove my nails or not, the reaction is still going to happen. So why walk around with ugly nails if I'm going to react anyway? And don't come for me, because I'm not saying that you should keep your nails on if you're having a bad reaction, especially a really, really bad one, like the one that I had with Melody Susie. Yes, you should remove your nails at the first sign of a reaction. But if you know your body and you already know how your reactions go, then use your own judgment. This is proven by the fact that I don't continue to react and my reaction heals up in a day or two. So it's not that there's just uncured product continuing to leach. It was just that initial contact and the initial reaction. To be completely honest, I don't think the ointment really did anything. The reaction was a tad milder, but they've kind of been getting milder over time. I think I'm definitely going to try it again, if hopefully not, but if I do end up having a worse reaction to something else, I really do not think it did much of anything. It only did not accelerate the healing in any way. It was kind of like just a normal reaction, and I just kind of went through the motions of how I healed all my other reactions. So I don't really know that it does anything, but maybe I'll try again and we'll see. I hope that was helpful, and I would love to hear, if you have an allergy, what are your preferred methods to healing a reaction? What do you do? So make sure you leave a comment below, and if you aren't already, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and you hit that bell icon so you never miss when I post a new video. If you can, please hype this video. It helps out my new growing channel tremendously so that we can continue to spread allergy awareness and get closer to our mission in no new besties in the allergy club. As always, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one.